All right. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today, and I was just, you know, why the biggest frustration is because I've been having to work in Bubble after having learned so much Elixir. So it's like Bubble's been so frustrated after you've seen the promised land, right? So I've been writing this document here for a while, kind of putting together what I imagine would be the course to teach myself Elixir, in a couple of years ago, right? How would I do it? So, but I wanted to start with like, what's on my mind? Why even move away from Bubble? I mean, all right. And the first point is just the trust factor, right? I can't trust it. I have no control over it. Because I've been working in code for so long, and I've been, you try to make interfaces easy for users and so on. Or if you build something, kind of a plugin, especially in Bubble, then you start seeing, okay, I'm making choices here between the developer, the end user in this case, and the code. And I start saying, like, man, this is never ending here. Now I see why developers at some point when you talk to them about Bubble, they go like, "What the hell, man? I don't want all these decisions taken for me, right?" And that is its blessing and its curse is how easy it is to start. But because of that, there's so many decisions that are being taken in your place, right? That at some point, if you disagree with them, or if you're, if it's not a fit for you, it's just frustrating. And that's where I am right now, right? So that's the biggest blessing of Bubble. Easy to start, hard to scale. I mean, it's not hard to scale. I mean, there's many ways. Lots of people talking about how to improve how you build and so on in Bubble so that it's scalable. But it's like you learn this dark art, this dark language, this secret handshake, but only applies in Bubble. Some of them are based on actual, kind of development, good practices and computer science ideas, but they are super Bubble specific, right? It is good that you learn them because solving these problems, finding ways around this, like the whole thing with satellite data types, whatever it is, like to get around the shortcomings of the platform you're using. That's good learning, right? But at some point, just go like, there is an easier way, right? Another reason is if you just look every time you click on any Bubble app, is like has spin up and so on. If the app has not been loaded in a few minutes, the code starts. So that takes a little extra, and everything feels sluggish, right? Oh, change page, don't even think about it. Like you're not even going to use links and so on, so you lose a bunch of, kind of the standards of the browser. You can't command click a button because if whatever, right? There's lots of this little decisions that they have taken in your place that for me are just frustrating. And the last one is like, it is expensive. Having drank some of the Kool-Aid about self-hosting and so on, like now I understand how little it takes to run a freaking full-size app with lots of things running, like doing lots of things and cost peanuts, right? It is super cheap to do it. Like I could just put it on my server here at home, a computer that I have from like 10 years ago, and it would run beautifully. In Bubble, like we have this dedicated app, and the cost, just the entry cost is just outrageous. I mean, like, what am I paying for, right? So it's like, mind blowing, right? So this is it. On the Elixir side, right? So by contrast, Elixir is reliable, like it's open. Every new release of Elixir, Phoenix, of anything, it's super inspectable. The people doing it, the updates, you can see that they know what they're doing. They've been raised and bred in this industry, in this sector. They understand it well, right? The other one is my favorite. Is like, is it truly full stack? Okay, you're going to have to get out of Elixir. You're going to have to write some JavaScript and so on to, deal with the front end. But it's surprising how little JavaScript you can get away with in Elixir. Right, and then here full stack. Like if I just contrast with Bubble, like you see people connecting Superbase. Why? Because I want a more performant database for real time, for cloud, for workers on the cloud and so on. All of those things, like, is all Elixir. Like that famous the Heart of Elixir talk. It is true. It's like, while in Bubble, for you to do anything, you need a plugin, a connection, another service. You need like something else. In Elixir, you can just either copy somebody's code, or there's already a library you can pull in and use it. It's just, man, like, so eye-opening that this can be so easy. All right, the next one is testing. I never tested before. I never validated it before, but now that it's so easy to do, I understand the beauty of it. I understand how many, foot guns I've avoided because I wrote some test at some point and I could just run it. And even if it's a, 10% coverage, there was some coverage that helped me catch that, right? Bubble does have a bunch of little, testing. It won't let you publish an app if there's some required field missing and so on. So that is good, but is, I'm more interested in the more in-depth stuff, right? And the other thing about tests is that I have found out how much I learn by creating tests. So I end up like figuring out what I want to do by creating these tests, right? It is so good. And the other thing is like that testing forces you to do is that you're going to have, whenever you run a test, you have no database. You have to create the database, you have to create all the things, right? So this seed database is so powerful. Meanwhile, whenever I'm looking in Bubble and I'm doing in development there, my development environment is just a freaking mess, right? Is because I created stuff and some stuff is missing the links that needed to. It's like, so you're constantly pruning your database, and then if you say, you know what, I'm just going to wipe this database, recreate it some other way. That's going to cost you some money because that's just running stuff. It's not like I can just put a SQLite database, just feed a little file to it and say, okay, test against this. Like, no, everything you have to recreate, a bunch of workflows and so on, just so heavy, right? The next one is observability. I didn't even know what this word meant. No, but it's just like, I can see logs and the logs give me everything. It gives the whole stack trace and I understand what it is. Meanwhile, in Bubble, man, if I look in those damn logs, what are they? Like, can I search for something? No. Can I do this? No. Is it, descending order, ascending order? Like, I never know, right? And I've been working in this for years and years, but I just avoid the log. So I'm constantly, log into the console or something, or even creating the database or sending message to Slack, because it's just impossible to work in the Bubble logs, right? And you can't see anything. And this thing here, like whenever the Elixir comes out of the box, the Phoenix, you have everything there. It's like the utilization, is there some ideas, like if you connect to your database, it will tell you which searches are a bit heavy and so on. So it gives you so much, and I don't even know how to set this up. And I know I have a stack of stuff that I need to learn how to put together. I don't even need to do all that, and I already got so much more from this than Bubble could ever provide, right? Yeah, and the other one is deploy anywhere. That's like, I had an app last year that I was, I had a question. I was like, okay, we need to have this in Europe. How much is that going to cost me? Yeah, freaking arm and a leg, right? It's just so expensive. And here with Elixir, okay, it's just code. Just deploy anywhere. Like a Raspberry Pi here under my desk, or some server everywhere, or in a bunch of server kind of distributed. That's it's incredible how you can deploy anywhere, and it's cheap, right? Because it's just cheap in many ways, because it doesn't cost much to run it. It's very efficient, and so it'll fit anywhere. All right, the last one is AI, right? What can you do with an existing app with AI in Bubble? Nothing, right? Like it doesn't help you with anything. And I don't mean it. I want to develop a new data, interface, whatever. Like no, I don't want none of that. Just here's my app. Here are all the logs. This is going wrong. Look at the logs and help me understand where is it coming from. That is like my favorite use of AI. Is just like, okay, I need somebody, my Danny DeVito over my shoulder here, help me figure out what the hell is happening here. Like, what is going wrong? And the AI together with, of course, the compiler, which is fantastic. The errors and the documentation, I can get to any problem really quickly, right? And that is, I think, whenever I look at Bubble, like this, the most frustrating part of it all is that you get nothing. Like you're so blindsided. AI is useless. I mean, there is the get build prints from George that it works great to figure this out. But okay, every time I need to use it, I need to download my code, upload it to his, wait for it to compile, then ask it questions, and trust that it's kind of getting a good idea. But this is not good use. Bubble's being left behind to decide. Right, and the last one is standards and norms. Like I think this is a great win for Elixir. It's like because the formatters included, because the generators create the stuff with the name conventions like this. Even the compiler will catch some naming conventions that you get wrong. It's like all of those things are fantastic, and it just helps me, like alleviates this weight of what the hell do I name something, right? And this is a frustration in Bubble that every time you create something, it just comes out group A, group B, group C, right? And because it just auto-generates, right? It's on you to go change it. And it's kind of painful. It's a couple of clicks and typing away from that. Meanwhile, anything in code, the moment you create it, you have to name it, right? So that makes it a lot easier. And that is, I never thought I would say this, but it alleviates a lot of pressure.